greetings, everyone, I would say, but the... Oh, there it is. Awesome. Greetings, everyone. I'm the delicious and mythical Griffin Muffin, and I'm here with another night of Esoteric. Been having lots of fun in this game. If you haven't watched the previous ones, it's not entirely necessary. You might be a little bit lost, but I can quickly fill you in. So basically, we went down into the city below, got up to some antics. I fought a roper. I solved a puzzle. Well, actually, I've solved a few puzzles. And above everything, the thing that is the most exciting thing is that I finally have Speak with Animals as a spell. It's amazing. So, a part of the reason why we went down to into the city below was because we were looking for Frank, son of Frank, a suspect in this case of the burning tea shop, well, the blown up tea shop. So, actually, I won't go that way. I will go towards the riverways, I think it's called. Is it called the riverways? I think it... Where's this go? I think it just goes tunnel to the river. That's not what I want. But yes, so now I can actually talk to all the delightful animals that are around the place and see if they can give me any clues or anything. I'm pretty sure there is a... Where's this go? To Central Tollstadt. I don't want that. Alright, I gotta find... is it this? Out of the garden. I don't think that's what I want. I swear there was like a secret, like a little way I got into here. Just to... Is this it? Tunnel to the lower lair. So I don't want to go there. That rhymed. Yeah. We'll just try through here. I think I can head through here to the riverways. Water lane view, that's it. Because there is a particular majestic creature in the water lane that I wanted to speak to. So we'll do that now. Oh, hey, there's something happening here. What's going on here? Who are you? Oh, decent roll. Human. Level 1 unemployed. Okay. The next generation, a late-stage teenager representing all young men among the Earth folk. Statistically, it could be worrying if all young men if all young men today feel as lost and unemployed as this one. Then everything must be going to shit. At least he's politically active. That might also be a worrying detail. Young men with little to lose and everything to gain are, historically speaking, a common driving force behind world-changing conflicts. If the old guard nationalists do not represent them, if freestriderism does not support them, if Azgalism is way too progressive, then what phrase will these rumblings lead us along? And there's more! Oh, DC 20 to get all that. Alright, cool. Speak? A tense scene. Oh, a cleric, just in time. 4 young guys, each looking a bit nervous. Except the angry-looking blonde kid. We've confiscated the illegal goods, he says and bows his head. For the city! He turns his head towards one of the kids behind him. How's it going, Earth Nissa? I'm trying, hold on. Are you militia? The blonde kid shakes his head. I'm Rollo, the blonde kid says and takes a bow. Rollo Malik, at your service. Behind me are Earth Nissa, Stan Buskin, and Toli. We're members of the Novikian Resistance, a movement to... You're thieves! And ignorant book burners. A girl adjusts her spectacles and straightens her back. With all due respect, Mr. Cleric, she says, don't believe a word from these thugs. You notice that the 2 other girls behind her, a halfling and a dwarf. Both look at each other. Assholes. Careful, it's an actual cleric. Thugs? Come on, Medusa, really? Like the AY aren't just a bunch of ruffians? I've seen enough. The goblin whispers to you and sighs. Just activists clashing. Ask Snell. The AY? Azgalism youths. See her green armband? Ah, so we got some Azgalism conflicting with some other people. Who is the goth person in there? I just noticed that. There is just a straight up, just very, I don't know, very out of place. But cool. Hello everyone, I'm the Cleric. Mention that you've been the Cleric 10 times. Wonderful. They've stolen, she hisses, then turns to Rollo to bark out, "You stole our entire water lane delivery!" "Yeah, sure. Of an illegal newspaper. Lord Cleric, I assure you, we're doing the city here a favor." I take that back, it's just a bunch of larpers. Larper, an insult, meaning someone who's delusional and roleplays themselves into a position of power or importance, based on LARP, meaning live acting role-playing. If it was live action role-playing, but acting, that's fine, yeah. I see. It's a lover's quarrel. What? No! He's blushing. The girl gives you an incredulous frown, and she's disgusted. That's not Cleric. Focus! Wait a second. No. I need to correct something here. Oh, no, I don't want to say that. I am a Cleric. Are you kids allowed to be out so late? Both sides look at you with frowns. Look, I have a hard time seeing how old humans are as well, but these are clearly young adults, even if they're not acting their age. Hey, shut up, Goblin! Your companion grits his sharp fangs in the blonde kid's direction. Hey kid, wanna die? Keep talking. He takes a step back. You're here to uphold the law, right? So arrest these assholes, now! The dwarf grabs her hand and holds her back. Medissa, calm down, please. Point at the Azgal girl. You, explain your side. She scoffs. Okay, fine. Her dwarven friend mutters, Medissa, in a concerned tone. We deliver papers from the Azgal. Is this the person I talked to, like, in the first stream? They look kinda familiar. We deliver papers for the Azgal chant. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a pretty big deal. He chuckles. The paper is not terribly popular, but it is known for radical articles and political stances. She draws a sharp breath. We have a busy schedule, and right as we started delivering the papers in Water Lane, these pieces of shit started following us, taking papers we just delivered right out of people's mailboxes. That's illegal, right? Asked the halfling girl. Highly illegal. Of course it's illegal. Your opinion does not even register. She does not even hear it. Insolent behavior. She does not care for your opinion on the legality of mail theft. How rude. And then they grab one of our paper stacks from Zerba, like straight up assault and theft, and... Medissa, it wasn't... They can't get away with this. It probably was not that bad. Poor girl. What does the law say about this conflict? The Azgal chant, or whatever silly name its an anonymous publisher gave it, is not licensed for distribution in Tolstad. Requiring licenses for public distribution is a typical method to repress journalistic intent in Norvik. The city knows that terrible papers should not be given out. At the same time, it is also illegal to steal delivered newspapers from mailboxes, even if those papers are delivered illegally. What a conundrum! Both are in the wrong? In different ways, yes. Although it's clear that the boys are bullies and the girls are victims. I could just charm one of them, right? But that would be a solution. Tell them you've made up your mind, and cast it on one of them. Okay, I've come to a conclusion. Good, she says and nods. She's hiding a nervous expression. Great! Good. He's outwardly very nervous. Okay. I'll make sure I click the right one here. Approach the blonde kid to see if you can get these nationalists to back off. Approach the girl with the spectacles to check if you can argue against these Azgals. I'm gonna go against the nationalists. Oh hey! He stares at you, trying to retain his composure. He's terrified. You're frustrated already. You're likely to take it all out on both sides if you fail at getting them back to give back the papers. Tell him to give back the papers in a controlled and thoughtful manner. Oh, can't I, I thought you said I could charm them. You spoke with Rollo's younger brother. Did I? When did I do that? Huh, righto. Anyway, let's go for it. Yes. Puff out your chest. Take a deep breath. Place a hand on his shoulder. Your gloved hand grabs him firmly and he gives you a freaked out expression. Kid, give her back the papers. He mutters, trying to form an argument. No. Stay quiet. He glares at you. Give back the papers. He glances away from you. You can see his mind working behind these wide eyes. Then he slowly nods. Rollo snatches up the stack of papers and tosses them over to Munissa. She catches them with a oof, accompanied by a foul expression. Grumbling, the boys leave Water Lane. Gods be damned. The three girls collect themselves for a second. Shit. Yeah, wow, that was scary. Mr. Cleric, thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot. Great. Now you can fuck off as well and stop delivering that paper. It's generally illegal. I think I will say, your cause is good. Keep at it. Will do. And if you want to help out, come by Simmy's apartment at the Holes. Where's the Holes? The Holes, a common slang for the central spire of apartments in Tolstad. The lower ones are less fancy. As long as you're a friend, you'll be welcomed. Within a minute, they've dispersed, leaving Water Lane a bit less rowdy than before. I'd say that was the right choice, even if those girls seem shady as well. Let's get out of here. Time to leave. Something popped up before. I didn't quite see that. Anyway, let's see if the griffin's still there, because that's why I came down here. I came here to see the griffin. The griffin's there! What a glorious moment. Oh, it's sleeping. What a majestic creature, Snell. Don't you want to pet it too? No. No, thank you. And seriously, be careful. I'm not cleaning up your guts if that thing skewers you. Oscar, hi. Hello. Come here, boy. Oh, come here. Oh, you're gone? You kidding me? Anyway. Okay, I've come to a conclusion. I should not engage the beast. Where is my spell? So there's the... Oh, is that... Oopsies. Cure wounds, grease, speak with animals. Okay. How do I cast it, though? Okay, one action. I'm going to try and engage with it again and see if there's anything I can... No, it's not it. Alright. I'm going to have to quickly Google something. How to cast spells in Esoteric Ebb. In Esoteric Ebb, you cast spells by preparing them at shrines using a spellbook. Ah, crap, I gotta do that. Alright, that's why. I need to actually do the proper thing of getting spells ready. That's why. Alright, let's go. Pretty sure there's one down here if I remember correctly. What time is it on in the game? It's 8:30. Alright, so once it reaches... Oh, where'd it go? Oh no, here it is. Here it is. You approach the shrine. Prepare spells. Okay. Charm person, cure wounds, detect alignment? Shield of Faith, definitely. I've got my cantrips. I still have 2 other spell slots to fill up, so maybe inflict wounds and grease. I feel like detect alignment's gonna be really good though. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, alright, we're in business. I have spells. Fuck. Is the cat in here? cat is gone, so I'm going to close the door. Alright, let's get to it. I'm so excited for this. Alright. No reason to cast that spell. Maybe I have to engage? There it is. Okay, so it starts flashing when it's like, hey, use a spell. Casting this spell, and it's only 8:30, so I'm gonna have a long rest soon, so I'll be able to cash this in. Your spell causes you to feel lighter for a moment, as if connected with the soaring dreams of the griffin. Then it fades as a deep growling voice enters your ears. Amazing. You foolish biped. The griffin gets up from its slumber with a dark groan. Ugh. How many times must I make it clear? I require rest, or do you wish to taste my steel? Holy shit, you can talk! Of course, you foolish biped. The beast spreads its wings. You may address me as Giorgio Valzantigo. There we go. Master Giorgio Valzantigo. If griffins could smirk, he would. Who does this chicken think he is? Greetings, master. Thank you for getting out of the way. Bow or greetings? I think bow. Tisk. Your manners are in the gutters, along with your bloodline. Oh, I should have done with hello, master. Hello, Shodan. We're speaking to the griffin! You joined at such a great time. Now I'm in a good mood after my nap. Go ahead. Ask me whatever inane questions you might have. How'd you get the name Giorgio? My father was Tizimirgi Valzantigo of House Valzantigo. We are bred to be perfect, the griffin growls, leaning his beak in towards your face. Interesting, this griffin must be one of the Vetten de Rey, typical racing breed. Vetten de Rey, a minor but wealthy gnomish settlement east of Norvik. They breed racing griffins, whom many journey to see during game season. But is built into the side of a dormant volcano, yet it is small fertile valley is free of the curse of the burned coast. I see, so you originate from Vetten de Rey. That is correct. Of course, you've heard of my home kingdom. VDR is the greatest city on the coast. The gnomes who live there have served my lineage for over a century and a half. Once I finish this obligation in the west, I will return to rule my house once more. Soon enough. You're kind of chunky. What do you do around here? I handle scouting for the boat bipeds, though they do not hold any interest for my valuable information. Some of the less rugged ones I even move around from time to time. I traveled with one a few days ago, all the while to this strange cold land. In return, I get to feed a glorious amount of sustenance. More than you could ever wish for, biped. Who did you fly here with? A biped of your size, approximately. One with a gaudy sense of style. Some type of ground delver of a human, I believe. The type to head deep below and not come back for many, many days. Oh, I wonder if it's the dwarf that we met in the city below. It's sad, really, to be a biped like you. We could find its owner below, then. Who's your owner? I have no owners, you foolish thing. You need to wrap your mind around a superior being not needing to slave away all day. Learn from me. That would do you good. Got it. What a lovely creature. Did you sleep well? Until you showed up, yes. I had a dream where I kept smacking bipeds like you around. It was wonderful. Aw, is that all I get to ask it? Oh, that sucks. I don't want to insult it. Why did you call me biped? Why? For that is what you are. A two-legged featherless biped. Do you disagree? No, that's fact. Ooh. I do. Get ready to argue about your identity as a person. Of course, and what incorrectness will you spew in my direction then? The Cleric. That is what I am. I don't know what that is, and I don't care. Anything else? That's it for now. The voice disappears from the griffin immediately. Had a good chat. Didn't sound like you were best friends exactly. Wait, what did it sound like to you? You've essentially been squawking for a while now. I would have laughed if the noises coming from that griffin didn't scare the shit out of me. Sound like you'd been gutted for you'd be gutted any second. The griffin and I came to an understanding, I think. Sure, let's go before the bird changes its mind. Alright, so I've used the spell slot to speak to the griffin. It was glorious, even though I didn't get to ask that many questions. Amazing. I am exhausted. I guess the only way I can get rid of exhaustion is by doing a proper sleep, like a long rest. But I have to wait to speak to Coin Lord Darrow. Can I go here now? Okay, so wait, before I get distracted. Crap. I spoke to the griffin. Let's check the questing tree and see where we're at. What's yellow mean? Oh, take root! They must have realized by now. You're not just some government goon. You are. Of course not. I am the Cleric. That's right. The one and only Norvik's protector and the hero of the downtrodden. The Cleric. This is your calling, your duty, your life. Since you joined the Earth Guard to make sense of this unruly life of yours. It is your calling. This is where you found your zealotry, your love for the city, your meaning in life. Feel clerical. There are other trails as well. Ones more in tune with your natural inclinations. Of course, all that druidcraft. Yes, you have shown promise as a primal caster. Yes. A friendly local druid, that is also a choice you could make in the coming years. One that could suit your demeanor well, and potentially grant you access to healthy friendships. I do like healthy friendships. And so on. Oh, I have to make a decision! I like the idea of being the friendly local druid, but I am the Cleric. Okay, maybe if I hear them both out. With that name as your pride, you will keep going through divine, sacred magic. The Cleric, your healing spells are increased by an extra proficiency. Your heals can be increased by your strength modifier instead of your wisdom modifier if it is higher, which is what I have. So that's pretty cool. What do we got for friendly local druid? Spend more time in the great outdoors. That is the first step. Extra proficiency enrolls when in natural habitats. This includes outside areas, overgrown areas, and caverns, which would be good when we're going into the city below. Is one thing I'm guessing. Because obviously there's been a few bad moments in the city below. Moist holes also count. I am ready to make a decision. Yes, you know. Oh, okay. Shodan, I don't know if you are busy or not, but what's your take? What do you think? Cleric or local druid? Not that I'm going to base it all on your decision, but I value your wisdom in this. So just to reiterate, like stat-wise, Cleric makes me have better healing, and then the Druid gives me, I don't know what it means by extra proficiency. I'm guessing it means it gives me like a proficiency bonus or whatever whenever I'm in outside areas, overgrown areas, or caverns. A small part of me, like from a narrative thing, I am the Cleric. I'm only like kind of the druid stuff is kind of just a side hustle. So but the cleric is the main thing. So I think I might just go cleric. Although, yeah, I'm gonna go with cleric. Oh yes, say it. I am the cleric. Earth be blessed, you are. Feel like you've found yourself. Excellent. I am the cleric. Crap, I have also forgotten what I'm doing now. Go back to this. That's something. What's this? Take root! Trouble brewing. A young woman running around in the streets, slinging Azgalism propaganda to unsuspecting citizens. Boys causing chaos in the name of some hapless magazine-inspired rebellion. This cannot be tolerated. No, it cannot. Too much chaos has been caused by these damn kids. It really can be. What? It can be tolerated. It's just some kids. The youth are attempting to get political. They're learning as they go. That kind of looseness will bring order to its knees. It's all... The Azgal youths did nothing to warrant such pushback. This era is one of communication. Ideas interchange freely between a populace of three-minded thinkers, folk dreaming of an egalitarian potential. However, the problem lies with the unfortunates who break and sear Fulcarian thought with reckless unkindness. You must pray for them, beg of them, to please, please stop being so mean. Do you think this would really work? One can wish. Those boys might be unkept and rough, but they are proud citizens of a great city. They are performing a service, albeit a crude one beyond the realm of law. But the youth Azgals are even more unlawful, to much steeper degree. Steeper? Steeper. How do you calculate that degree of unlawfulness? Entirely through the morality of their behavior, which means feelings. Feelings. Yes, you are feeling like the boys are in the right. What has happened here is a complication upon society, a representation of the wider culture. Young men are drawn towards the rough, downtrodden world of the dreamers, the hope of national unity through an Earthian story. One of leadership and honor, but without the guiding star there is no such singularity, no control, no wise king to bend the knee to. Instead, those boys are simply expressing pain through violence, enacted onto those who are attempting to craft a more caring future. Well, that's a bit more topical than I really expected to be reading tonight. That is, young women. They, as opposed to young men, are drawn towards a more social type of unity, with welfare and Azgalian flattened hierarchical structures. Beyond Azgal himself, who is by his function also a male figure, it is two womanly people you shall look towards. Lady Fair is one. The halfling god? Yes, Lady Fair and those not. The walking god who gave everything to save her people. Lady Fair and those not, a young halfling leads her clan through the mountain pass and defends it for 3 days and 3 nights. She is known to be responsible for the founding of the Fordnip Commonwealth. We know about the Fordnip Commonwealth because of that guy we talked to, I think it was in stream 2. He's like a professor. It went nowhere basically, but he talked about that a bit more. Ah, yes. I've heard the Project Hail Mary movie is very good, so I hope you enjoy yourself, Shodan. Her words are few, but spread far across the coast. Her church is quite active among Novikian society, and as an organization of charity, one open to all folk, no matter their origin. You too, mate. An egalitarian dream. This is why women, as harsh as it is to say, are simply more suited for Novikian leadership. Lady Fair makes it clear. A house held by women stands any season. That's pretty cool. I agree, women clearly build a more thoughtful and caring world for us all. Feel like a good man for thinking such egalitarian things. But I want to lead in the future, and I'm not a woman. Does that mean... I feel like there should be some middle ground here. What about a house held by a person never falls? That's catchy, right? Right? Nah, I'll do this one. There is something so powerful about dreams. Ideas spreading from man to woman, woman to man. But the Azgalian dream is not a blessing. It is a smile wrought in pain. A vision of 1,000 layers of intersected nets and labels, tangling every person, ensnaring them into oppressor or oppressed. There is oppression. There are unfair hierarchies. The world is corrupt, but not fundamentally. If these boys are pushing back against Azgalism, that is only natural. It is an ideology which pushes on a foundational belief that they are naturally, oppressively superior. If a young man grows up in squalor, finding zero advantages from him being a man among patriarchs, nor any power from being a human, especially if he grows up with non-human clusters, something many of the poorest humans do, when he is unable to find a job at age 19 and has almost no political, societal, or economic power in his life, which dream do you think he would believe in? The one calling him to fight to reclaim what is his by right, a good life as a future patriarch, or the one calling him an oppressor? That is a very good point. Not just in the game, but I think in real life as well, with the politics of everything happening in the world right now. I think, what it's saying here is that there aren't a lot of good narratives that tell young men that are growing up in this world right now that they are not somehow demonized. I don't see that, but maybe they are seeing that from the other end of things, being like, oh, it's hard to kind of disagree with that in some way, but I think ultimately it's not great as well that a lot of young men are growing up with only the ideas of crypto-fascist sort of machismo to help guide them through life, because that only makes those in power even more powerful, to have people distracted and unable to really see who is the clear political enemy in their lives, and that is the rich and the powerful, those that often are spewing such propaganda to tell these young men, oh no, it's not the rich and powerful, it's X. So, very topical, very enlightening, and very well written, I will say. That is a very compelling passage. It does not call him an oppressor. That is an unfair reading. Azgalism is about systemic change. That young man is trapped in the same cycle of violence that all men find themselves. There we go. This is kind of what I wanted to go on to next, but the game is doing it. Since the dawn of time that he... Since the dawn of time that he must fight. That he must be a patriarch to have that good life. Yeah. Azgalism would lay the foundation that allows him to be free from those burdens. He would be free to find a job, that good life, with the same prospects as everyone else. The foundation is laid by raising women to the forefront, by allowing them to flatten our hierarchies and bring about a new world. Suppose if a man already has it pretty terrible in a world where he's supposed to be on top, then a world where his advantages are gone would seem even worse. That is again an unfair reading, yes. You can think of it as unfair, or you can think of it as a clear message. You need to come to that realization. The one every boy reaches towards the late stages of their capitalistic, pubertistic, and socialistic awakenings that... No, not at all. It is only your placement you must understand. Figure out where you've planted these 2 feet of yours, and accept where your bones will begin their incessantly slow-ish grind into the pavement. Learn more. Steel yourself. Seek love. To be more. Suddenly understand gender. Let's do it. Yes! I understand gender, finally! Oh, it is such a simple answer. As you compare and contrast, as you break away from the many specifics and biases and little intricacies that make each man a man and each woman a woman, what is left is but the souls of these folk, these creatures of biological realities and spiritual happenstances. Each of them loving and holding and hating and screaming within Jaw's arbitrary spectrum, within some neatly organized checkboxes of a governmental form, within the heart and genitalia of each young, virile, beastly person who struts across this artificial landscape. They think so much, they feel so much, both as one. Men and women are innumerably more similar than they have ever been different. Any kind of statistical calculation or divinely attributed seance will always point in this direction. There are extremely minor divergences in the averages. These are negligible. The default man and the default woman are going to be, in every single way that matters on a broader scale, equal. But like, how do I know this? You know it because you feel it. Esoterically. However, these minor differences on the average, they coagulate towards the extremes. What does that mean? If men are more thousands of a percent more aggressive than women in the averages, that is nothing but an indication of this. The most violent people in society are all men. This means both of these following statements are fully true. First statement, men and women are the same. Second statement, men and women are different in the extremes. And how does that affect reality exactly? In this way. Only in extreme cases does gender affect anything. If you are dealing with the most empathetic people in the world, they will almost all be women. If you are dealing with the most competitive people in the world, they will almost always be men. Yet, for the vast majority of groups and/or collections of people, the more empathetic and competitive are just as likely to be either men or women. This gender divide is not something you should use to judge or evaluate average people in average day-to-day life. It is only relevant in vastly wide distributions. You will always have more male criminals. You will always have more female Azgalists, but only because the most violent people become criminals, and the most lovely people become Azgalists. Something about the last part sounds incorrect. It is something to think about. Now, you must choose. What? Choose a side, as difficult as it may be. Tell me more about Lady Fair. The halfling built a religion out of feminine love. You can do something similar. Ooh. So Lady Fair, I get proficiency when speaking with feminine characters. What does feminine and masculine mean in this context? It means where the target lands on Jaw's gender spectrum. They will always be on one side of this esoterically decided middle point. If you disagree with that judgment, take it up with Jaw. That is the most probable outcome, yes. But do not always assume the gender placement of a target. The world is often more complicated than you initially imagine. I'm ready to make a decision. Do so. Stand tall. Do not be afraid. I pick Lady Fair. It is done. The feminine has entered into your body, your soul, your blood, to be kind to all. Wow. What an adventure. I have become a feminist, and I am also a cleric. Now, I got into that place I'm now actually going to go into the quest tree and figure out what I'm doing. Cool. If I remember correctly, completed. Cool. Coin Lord. So I have to see him in. Wow, it's 9 o'clock now. In the game. Okay. So that took a very long time. What's this one? Phoenix Folio. After your river adventure, your old spellbook is ruined. Find a service brother who can rebind it. Okay. So I can find someone to fix my book, eh? What about the guy upstairs? The halfling I talked to yonks ago. That guy had books. Yeah, there's books everywhere. Let's just talk to this guy. He waves a hand in front of him. Life is pain. Now what do you want? Let's see if there's anything. What is love? Where did you say I should look for this book you needed? He leans in. 120 feet. He points to the city below. Straight down. That is where the Divina sought it. How it got there, who knows? No. Okay, this guy doesn't... Something's at the bottom. Coins? Something stuck between the pages. Dream patch. Apparently I'm just looting this guy's place. Oh. Memoirs of a Statement by Nicholas Darrow. The first few pages are devoted to a rambling text about the history of governing, from ancient texts from various beasts of Jaw to gods of the divine era, to several arcanist figures. Darrow. Who's Darrow? Darrow, one of the original Earthfolk houses to found Norvik with Earth. Their bloodline can still be found in high positions all around the city, so that's Coin Lord Darrow. Especially since he also includes an explanation of his lineage, that he is also direct firstborn grandson of Borgo Darrow, the first paladin of Earth. Borgo Darrow, the first paladin of Earth, founded the Earth Guard as well as the illustrious Darrow bloodline, known for his bravery and inability to be damaged in battle. Died of heart attack at age 40. His passing is used as an example of the importance of aging men to keep track of their cardiovascular diseases. The many, many pages go on to describe both practical but mostly theoretical methods of a statesman should use when dealing with the populace, the bureaucracy, and the ideologies of modern life. Generally, the book has rather rough tone about democracy. A quote you've heard before from this book pops up towards the end. Those who believe in democracy have a wonderful few of folk, to think them capable of making rational and informed decisions devoid of personal bias and emotional conduct. From what you remember, it caused quite the stir when it came out 2 years ago. Now, on that whole thing about democracy, this has come up a few times in this game, about how we can't have democracy because people are dumb, basically, and they're irrational and driven by emotion. It's something that's interesting, because, like, there's two things to add to that. It feels like kind of the starting point in an argument to kind of vouch and justify the alternative, which is, you know, despotism or autocracy and such. It kind of just dismisses democracy as a thing of, well, people are dumb, so it can't work. And I would argue that to have the alternative would probably be worse. There are times when a lot of monarchists and other people, and fascists even, try to justify the alternative power structure that they want, and say, look, see, it works. Look at all this history of people like doing cool things and having great kings and such, when like it's very much devoid of it's devoid of a lot of the information of people who lived under those regimes. It's only told for the people who supported those structures, because they had power from it. They had security, they had safety. So of course they would say it was grand and fine to have a king. And from what I know of history, it was very often that monarchies would often go into absolute chaos when the king died. I remember I listened to this podcast not too long ago about the history of Scandinavia. Maybe quickly, I won't like play it or anything, I'm just looking up the name of it. I think it's just called The History of Scandinavia, if I remember correctly, so just give me a second. History of... Whoops, I spelled history wrong. History of Why didn't that work? History. I don't know why it's not looking up, but anyway. Yeah, History of Scandinavia talked a lot about how every 20 to 30 years, whenever the king would die, there would often be a state crisis because there was no clear successor, and a bunch of petty lords would kind of go, I am the king. Oh no, I should be the king. And they go to civil war for another few years until someone decides, like, well, someone gets killed and manages to kind of push their way onto the throne and say, I'm here now. And then someone kills that guy, it rotates again, there's a civil war. And I argue, is that really better? To have that sort of chaotic system? Yes, democracy is not without its flaws, but it just kind of feels a bit more managed, in my opinion. Yeah, elections are messy. People can get a bit nasty when it comes to which ideology is right. I have volunteered even in some, at polling booths and such during elections here in Australia. And like sometimes it can get really awkward and really kind of a bit antsy, a bit how you going. But I would much rather that than the alternative. Quite anti-democratic. No wonder people were upset to have magistrate use such terrible language. You do so. Alright. Well, this guy's not going to help me, so let's leave. Oh, there's a door up there. Can I can't... Oh, I asked that last time. Hey, there's a dude. Hello, man. What do we got here? A cleric? Sorry, I'm busy. Oh, hello, off-brand offspring. Did you cast light? I did. I have dancing lights. I also found out how to cast spells, so I've gotten all of these down below. I've used Speak with Animals. I've spoken to the griffin. It was amazing. And yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what my next step is going to be. Because I'm waiting to speak with Coin Lord Darrow. I'm pretty sure I could go in here now. You approach the door. Bookbinder. You got business? Oh, it's a bookbinder! I was literally just talking about that. Do goblins have a better sense of smell? What do elves call themselves? Not too sure there, mate. Of course, I have a deep love for books now. That's fun. Didn't you expect that considering everything? I'm not a big reader myself, but I indulge occasionally. He sounds surprised. But it's just banter. You can handle it. Druids sometimes read books, if they're rough-looking enough, or is it rude to read on the corpse of a tree? I don't know, Cleric. He groans. His sound makes it clear. Yeah, I have met with that dark elf. That's actually the elf that gives you the Speak with Animals spell. So that was pretty neat. And yeah, I think they did a whole thing where they taught me Druidcraft as well. So it was a really good NPC to talk to. His sound makes it clear that he is tired of you talking about druidic things, despite the fact that he should celebrate your passionate love for nature. Well, maybe we shouldn't just stand here talking in front of a shop. You knocking or we leaving? Within seconds of the knock, the slit on the door slides open. Beyond you, you see a pair of large yellow eyes staring at you. Shen Yelan. Hey-oh! Is this pest control? The eyes quickly tilt to the left. No? Oh! The eyes push closer to the slit in the door. As they do, a bush of grey feathers pokes out. Nature is pretty great. A birdfolk. A cleric? Yeah, duh. Being a cleric has shaped the way you see the world. The birdman behind the door ruffles his feathers. Shen Yelan is my name. If you are not pest control, I need nothing from you. Please leave. I have a ruined prayer book. Can you fix it? Prayer book? Yes, I have seen quite a few. Drop inside. I will check and take a look. Ooh, this is kind of risky. I'll do it. Yes, horrible salt water, left swollen. You could have avoided the worst of this if it was drying process had been handled better. I will rebind this foul mess for you. How much will it cost? We will see. It depends on the process. We will need guidance on the direction of the rebinding. The spell inside are lost. However, the style and formatting can be saved. Using my skills, I can aim at something from the towers, which will be most similar to the original work. I could also focus on rebinding it if in the style of druidic ledger, or perhaps as a grimoire of the dark and forbidden arts. You know druidic stuff? I have many customers, including the various druids of this city. They have aversion to modern practices themselves, hence my service is well appreciated. Oh, I see. So I can make it so it's either going to give me an intelligence, a wisdom, or a charisma upgrade. I like both wisdom or intelligence. And I am a cleric. So it feels like I should just keep it to what it was. I think I'm going to go for the intelligence buff. That I will do. Return tomorrow. Not while the sun rises. I'm either resting or working intently during these hours. Oh, that's why I couldn't talk to them a few hours ago. They are quite literally a night owl. Okay. You finished with my prayer book yet? The owl beyond the door goes silent for a few seconds, his yellow eyes gazing at you. Judgmental. That is what he looks like. You... Ben Dunn. Do you suffer from memory loss? Maybe in an esoteric sense, but no. The owl sighs. Come back tomorrow and consider seeing a professional for your erratic behavior. Perhaps you should. You want to go drink at the tavern later? No. Why do you need help from the pest control guild? Rats! Oh. They are awful. Keep spawning out of the sewer pipes. Yeah, the PCG should really take care of that. Yes! He lets out an angry bird noise. But that bastard guild leader, Tall Limb Slip, keeps telling me they don't have time. No time? They have dozens of teams running around the city. No time? I've heard the big problem is that they cannot get anyone to do pest control missions at 1-star levels. The PCG has a ranking system based on the danger of any particular pest they handle. Of course, rats would be a 1-star problem. The halfways. We haven't really relied on the PCG for years. They don't just have time for anything under a 2-star danger ranking. It's very annoying. I have looked into it, and the problem is the pest control teams that join the guild only take on 1-star missions for a couple of weeks. Then they quickly start focusing only on the higher paying tasks, and all the actual normal pests keep on spreading throughout the city. It is a ridiculously idiotic system. I wonder if I'm going to get a quest. The quest to kill rats. It is by my right as a cleric. So while all the mimics and monsters keep getting slain, nothing is being done about these darn rats. The Pest Control Guild uses a legendarily poor design. The problem is it's too privatized. If the city held full control of all pest control, then even the less valuable missions would be handled. Obviously. The bird takes a few breaths after his rant. Worst part, my nephew has a team himself. The White Doves, they're called. They've tried sending messages to him, but he just says the same thing. Too busy, too busy. I could take a look at it. This does kind of sound like a quest. If you do, I would be very happy. The rats seem to come from the sewers connected to the city below. I could join the Pest Control Guild. The Owlman scoffs. Sure, and then... Excuse me. And then you'd go and take on all the big and scary monsters that crawl up out of the city, ignoring all the actual pests just to get a payday. No way. I'd work my ass off trudging through the sewers, catching rats for a barely nothing payout, all for the satisfaction of a hard day's work. Really? Yes, I'm that good of a guy. Well, if anyone was like you, the city would be a better place. Well, good luck with that. Thank you. Do I have the thing to go deal with pest control? Does not look like it. What's this one? Okay, so... yeah, okay. What time is it now? 9:30 in game time. If I remember correctly. I'm actually just gonna... wait, where's this go? Yeah, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go check out and see if Coin Lord Darrow can be seen. Because I'm starting to get a little bit antsy. Just wanna go... whoa, whoa, whoa! Hello there! Your muscles tense up. Ah, it's the masked assassin! Hey, he kind of looks like the guy in yellow. You hear the goblin say something to you. Dagger. He doesn't need to raise his voice. You know the gravity of the word. This creature visits death upon your door. Fight back! This is no time for introspection. Get ready, now! Nat 20! Breathing stopped. Fear response begun. This guy wants to kill you. Don't let him. Can't you ask him to put the blade away? Heart racing, death approaching. I'm gonna... I mean, I'm not great at it, but I'm gonna try it. Not good. Intrusive thoughts and fear spread through your mind the moment you start breathing again. The heart beats faster. You can't control it. You simply must do it. The body is in control. Be polite now. Reach forward to shake the masked one's hand. You hold out one hand towards the masked one. Oh, very nice of you. You smile. You're wearing a helmet. The bastard can't see it. Snell gets ready to act. His eyes quickly assess the situation. The goblin gets a hold of your garments and pulls you aside. In one fast tug, he's managed to move you to the side. Not by much, but... is it enough to save you from that blade? Let's hope so. The masked one is ready. The masked one immediately rushes forward. The sharp dagger thrusts at its target. Fortunately, the target, which is you, has been pulled to the side by Snell. The dagger misses you by an inch. Cleric, wake the fuck up! After the initial attack, the masked one goes in for another attempt. Do not let him counter. This will not continue for much longer. This fool will run away. You must stop him. Come up with an apprehension plan. Oh man, this is difficult because... nah, I'm just gonna... yes! Spending a few seconds actually thinking about it, you realize what this is. A quick hit. This guy will run away, so you should prepare. I'll strike when he tries to get away. Just so. Your goblin companion jolts his arm to the side, and a thick string appears out of his sleeve. It's a long woven cord with a pouch at its center, along with an iron bowl. A loud thud explodes from the lower left hip of the masked one. Gah! He squeaks. Despite the damage taken to his body, you can hear him grunting and pulling himself together. Once again, the masked one lunges forward. The dagger now aimed for your vitals. This will not break you. His movements, they are desperate. The masked one does not do this out of devotion, it is fear. Cleric, look out! Ho! Can I cast a spell? There we go. Right below your neck artery. The shock sends a shiver through your system. Fuck! You hear the weak voice behind the mask. His breath short and strained. The masked one seeks your death, but not a real fight. They will not seek further violence this day. Is it over? He is dead set on escaping at this point. Maybe you should let him. Never! Whoa, that is a lot of things. I'm exhausted. I've been stabbed. I have disadvantage. I staggered. They were hit by the bullet, then advantage, so it's balanced out. +2 to the DC. Let's give it a go. No. It's gonna be slim chance anyway. Oh my god! Oh shit! I fucking killed him! No one could survive that fall like that. Glancing over the side into the darkness reveals nothing. The masked one is gone. He deserved it, right? Sure he did. Sure. The goblin leans over the abyss. They really should put guardrails here. You complaint, you fail once more. They really should. Sadly, the old lady couldn't get the building permits. Otherwise, we'd have bolted up this place a long time ago. But for this one, I guess it worked out. Sort of. He rubs his chin. Someone wants us dead. Or you, more likely. Wait, why me? Snell shrugs. Looked a bit high-tech for a goblin mugger, he says, and wipes some dirt off his pants. That wasn't a goblin, was it? No, I mean mugger of goblins. They usually don't bust out creepy esoteric gear when they feel like stabbing someone like me. And I didn't exactly get targeted either, so... I think you've got a magical maniac after you, sorry to say. Adrenaline wearing off. Beware. Everything is a bit wobbly. Ooh, oh boy. Cleric, do you need any... He motions towards his neck. Towards his neck. Feel your neck. You press a hand against your neck, right where you felt the blade hit. The area hurts, but more importantly, it is not wet. You will live. I'm fine. He got my armor. Really? Yep. Aren't you lucky? He says, taking a deep breath. Guess we're gonna need it if someone's sending assassins after us. Sending, a third-level evocation spell commonly used as a direct communication between city-states and Arctis. That's a weird sort of thing, but anyway. Even incompetent ones like that. Why would an assassin be after you? This warrants an investigation. This bloodlust is something deeper, a devotion. What have you disturbed? That mask was weird. Yup, gives you the creeps just thinking about it. Looked like some kind of old ceremonial thing. Religious rites, sacrifices, cults. Couldn't be. The city doesn't allow that foul nonsense. Cultists? These days, evil cults aren't a thing in Norvik. Gives you a snide smirk, if you believe the magistrates. He is implying there is a world beneath the city of the city officials. Underneath the city officials do not know or care for. Could also be connected with something below. He snaps his fingers. We could go ask Snur, your new Scaldy friend. He might know a thing or two about cults. But why attack us? Great question. My initial guess, an enemy of Lady Sageleaf. He furrows his brow. Won't let an insult like that slide. Perhaps that has something to do with your supposed tumble into the river. Surely it must. The goblin's problems? Or yours? Who do you think actually sent that guy? No clue. Truth, the goblin knows nothing. But let's hope that they're bad as their job as that last guy was. The ambient groan of Norvik's red rocks echo below, the river coursing around you, hugging you. You glare into the darkness, but you see nothing down there. Your companion clicks his tongue. Fuck this. They can't get away with this. Not on our streets. Look into his eyes, then give him a nod. He nods back. You stood your ground. Against the odds, that is commendable. This attack was coordinated, not very effectively, but nonetheless planned. They will be coming. Snell checks around the crossing, a weary scowl on his face. Let's get out of here. Well, that was intense. I can't believe I fucking accidentally killed him. Anyway, I actually wanted to get up here so I can... Does this lead out? Yep, Toll Stud, that's what I need. I have used both of my two spell slots now as well. Alright. This place is deserted now. I did want to oh, the Drunk Sphinx is open. I'll check in with that later. I need to check and see if Coin Lord Dara can be seen right now. the way up? I think... Oh, that's the temple. Alright. Shield of Faith, no. That's the tea shop. Where's Coin Lord Darrow? What the hell? What's going on here? Sleeping for service. Come back after midnight-ish. There's the bikes. Actually, do I have a... I'll check my map. Okay. Tolstad North. It's up here. That's where Coin Lord Darrow is. So I need to find a way up there again. What the hell? What is that? Well, that's fucking sus. Anyway. Ah, here we go. It's up here. Is it? Oh, yep, here we go. This place is kind of a maze sometimes. Oh, what's this? Yep, Darrow House. This is what I was after. A broken statue of a cat. Cute. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's up here. The angel greets you with silence, her many eyes gazing in your direction. Yeah, I need access to the tea shop now. Coin Lord Darrow has requested no unauthorized access. But I am authorized. You are not. Don't lie, you're no good at it. When did you say I could speak with Lord Darrow? Coin Lord is available post-midnight. His door will be open. Midnight. Got it. Return when it is time. Alright, so it is midnight. So I've still got some things to do until then. Let's check the questing tree and see if there's anything I can take care of until then. Coin Lord's meet, that's what I'm doing. Dragon of Tolstad. You've spoken with Lady Miska Sageleaf and begun the joint operation with Snell. Let's hope it doesn't get in the way. Moongore spotted a man in yellow heading for the city below. That's Frank, son of Frank. He went to the South Caves. I did go into the South Caves before, and that's where I fought the Roper, and that's also where that crocodile guy was, and that was not a good time. Election. You've currently asked 5 people. I guess I do need to ask more people about the about who they're voting for in the election. Gorm of Norvik has gone missing. Locate the missing paladin will make you a hero. Copper Press Fever. An Azgalism newspaper is printed on Tolstad. You should find the location of the Copper Press and name the secret editor. Okay, that's something to do, I guess. River Takey. The bike racks. Someone must have pushed you in. Okay, the cult hit. Lich House Blues. I guess I could talk to Viskin. See if there's any connection there. See if he knows anything. Boy, I am still waiting to find out what exactly happened with the tea shop. Apparently there is a... Oop, hello. Oop, oh, yeah. That's a problem. Come on. There we go. I was holding down the button. There we go. Yes, I guess I'll go talk to Viskin. Hey, what's this? The most useful tool throughout human history. Oh. Bucket! Alright, let's go see Viskin. I wonder if he's up at this time. It seems pretty dark. Oh no, there he is. I have returned. Ah, I can get more on him. Well, maybe? I don't know. Don't think I got anything new. Alright then. Yes, he says with a smile, putting away some of the documents before him. Why is that guy so weird? I have some personal questions. Ah. Stop. You've already wasted enough time. Just leave. The pale man shifts in his seat. He makes it clear he does not want to answer these personal questions. Very well. Come up with a ton of random questions. He is willing to accept your questions, whatever they may be. What are you voting in the next upcoming election? Interesting question. A bit invasive, but I'll oblige. He is happy to indulge you for some reason. I'll be voting for the Party of Norvik. Numinism, while crude and outdated in certain aspects, has proved both its stability and economic assurance for all business owners such as myself. The people's nets, self-proclaimed protectors of Earth's legacy, the Party of Norvik, wants to uphold the divine right of the dead divine dictator. They have my vote. The goblin scoffs. A vote is cast for self-interest. It takes a special man to vote for any other reason. And if they win, how long do you think it will be before another assembly is called? Another 10 years? Maybe more? Until that stability is threatened, realistically speaking. So you're saying we should ignore the voices of the people until they start to scream in agony? A man is stupid, people is smart. You have a wonderful opinion of people, Cleric. Everyone should be allowed to have their opinion heard. And mine? Yes, yours too. That I can stand behind. Do you ever wonder about the world? His eyes light up. Certainly. The feeling. No, you do not have the ability to produce words able to describe it. Not yet. That's cool. His eyes grow dark once more. Anything else? I've run out of personal questions, actually. Good to hear. Any less personal questions? Or are we done here? Bye! Alright, so he didn't have anything. That was a dead end. But I do feel like something went off in the questing tree. Was I wrong about that? Free Strider? When do I get the Free Strider thing? Ah, that's gross. Anyway. I could go to the tavern. See if there's anything over there. Oh, whoops, wrong way. Yeah, I'm not going back. One thing I've told myself with this playthrough is if I get something wrong, I'm continuing with it. There was that thing in the last stream where I accidentally clicked a thing to pickpocket someone, one of the big scary bugbear, and I did it. And I had to go through with it. So luckily, I don't think it screwed up too much of my chances to speak with them in the future. That is not the way to this. Oh, it's down. Where is this damn? There's a tavern or something. Is it down here? No. Let's have a quick look around. Was it over here? I feel like it was over here. No. No, I've lost where it was. Can the map tell me? Where is it? Nah, it's not showing me much. Nah, it's not there. Is it up here? Oh, I think it was like up here. Nope. Ugh, where is this damn place? West, Tolls Route, north, Darrow House. Alright. I saw that place before. I'll find it. Nope, dead end. Maybe it was over here. Maybe I was remembering incorrectly. Music in this game is really nice. Very chill. I sometimes listen to it while I'm at work. Not here either. Oh, that little imp guy's gone. Should have tried to talk to him when I saw him. Alright. Where is this damn place? Is it up here? Was I thinking incorrectly? Nah, not up there. Is this someplace I can go? Ah, I found it. Haha! How did I get here originally? Oh, it's there. Ooh. Lots of goblins in here. Hello, citizen. Miss Neely. The goblin seems to be playing around with the strings of her instrument. What is this? She's tuning it. Hey. Your entire body jolts when she sees you. She's frightened by the Earthguard colors. I'm playing in a second, okay? Can I request a song? No. Go away, she mutters under her breath. I need some tense ambience for all the conversations I'm going to have here tonight. She scoffs. What every artist wants to hear. Be ambience. Every hero needs a bard. Wink at her. She cannot see a wink. Come on. But she can hear your over-enthusiastic wink sound effect you make with your mouth. She finishes whatever she was doing to her instrument. Don't dance. It'll hurt your chances at anything in this tavern. Let her play. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna save. I feel like I could potentially screw up things in here. Not that I'm going back. Oh, hey, it's her. Yeah, Ancient Vera. That's her name. Behold! Oh, here we go. Her belief is weak. She does not use it. Her religion is power. Hey! Ooh, we found out more about him. Azkal Madsen. Though he has seen a lot of shit in his days, Azgal I just noticed the Sphinx in the corner of the screen. Azkal still has his glowing eyes next on his neck. Words. Azkal still has his eyes glowing. Glowing eyes set on the next prize, sorry. The true reward of a life on the trail. A hoard. He will find it one day, someday, but not this day. Perhaps you will see him again? Who are you kidding? Of course you will. I'm gonna talk to him, see how he's going. Cleric of Norvik. The dwarf's glowing, smoldering eyes glitter as he bows before you. Lovely to see you. Me and Romulus were taking a little break before we head back into Dvagby. Bow back. He laughs, clearly somewhat inebriated. Oh, and I hope the pickaxe has been treating you well. The pickaxe? All right, that thing. Yep. Again, it doesn't quite work right, but if you play around with it, I'm sure you'll be able to get something useful out of it. Where are you from, Asko? My home is in the settlement of Stenstrup. You haven't heard of it. Tell me more. Not much to tell. Stenstrup is small and peaceful. I get back there every once a year or so to visit family. They sometimes want me to stay and join the mining corps. Maybe when I'm older. Who are you voting for in the election? Bit of a sensitive subject. I try not to be too vocal about my thoughts. But I'm leaning Azgal. Might go Free Strider, since they've got one hell of a program planned for privatized adventuring and delving across the Skadi. But then again, I don't exactly believe myself to be such a winner in the golden heart world. If you catch my drift. The rust monster makes a screeching noise. Romulus sure does. The Azgalists will make sure the economic prosperity of adventuring parties is shared amongst the populace, instead of going from one old horde to a new one. Yes, that's what I'm afraid of. But we'll see. There's still some time until Romulus and I have some thinking to do. That's all for now. See you on election day, Axel. Oh, who is this one? Olzis, Vault Guardian. Gynosphinx. Thousands of years spent guarding a hole in reality. Remember, her perception is beyond your ability to conceive. For her, a day is a fleeting moment unless you make it memorable. A gynosphinx giving out riddles, a woman searching for something, anything, even remotely interesting. About these scurrying mortals, why else allow them into her lair like this? Okay. A lull falls over the ambient cheer, just a beat of uncertainty as the cleric steps before the tavern's singular attraction. You have the bravado to wow her. Be exactly what you are. Do exactly as you do. She, along with everyone else, will love you all the same. Towering, you stare at this somewhat feline creature up on the stage, a living myth, currently taking a swig out of a barrel, clearly paying you no mind at all. The scent of cheap wine lingers in the air, along with an esoteric sensation. A gynosphinx is not to be trifled with. Her physical characteristics are enough to crush everything that is you. Gynosphinx, a monstrous being often found undertaking missions for the gods, a feminine force capable of seeing through time and space, collector of ancient lore and dispenser of riddles, known to test mortals to uncover their true worth. However, she will not have to raise a paw for her magical prowess, could exile you from Jaw's realm in an instant. Tread carefully. Your legs tremble. Greetings. The Sphinx looks down at you. Meeting her glowing blue art gaze makes you feel like you're falling far, far below the world. There are errors of wisdom behind those eyes. Her expression turns dark. Dark tidings bring you to the hearth. She speaks low and roiling. You see a hint of chaos in her movements, unfocused. A helmed dog, dragging its leash around the vestiges of jaw. She extends a claw thick as your arm, and she pokes you in the stomach. Woof. Woof. Her expression grows lighter, then she lets out a deep breath. It smells like an old basement filled with booze. She liked that. Somehow you've appeared witty to her. She takes another sip from her barrel, not looking at you. Watch yourself, Cleric, she whispers to you. He whispers to you. Alls is not one for idle chit-chat. I wish to prove myself worthy, Great Sphinx. Worthy, little one? Worthy how? Don't you give out riddles? Certainly. Are you ready? Yes, please. I love riddles. She puts down the last bit of her barrel and puts it down with a slam. Then the Sphinx leans in, hissing. Once I had the sun's favor, my creed, cling close to the wall. Matured in shadows, I've witnessed empires rise and fall. Once left in silence, now the life of the ball. She raises her paw and gestures to the open chamber. Yet I remain a draught of remembrance, a history's thrall. What am I? Easy. A lovely poem about a life's journey. How... I was gonna say, it sounds like a fruit. A lovely poem about a life's journey, how time changes all, even the simplest grape. Your companion smirks and gives a little chuckle. Make a guess. Pretty good. Oh, I failed. It was a secret DC. Oh, yeah, yeah. You focus your mind to come up with something, anything that could be the answer to the riddle. Something old and time-worn that was once in the light and then lived in shadows for a long time before it became popular again. Well, I failed it, so... Creed cling close to the wall. Matured in shadows, I've witnessed empires rise and fall. Once left in silence, now the life of the ball. Yet I remain a draft of remembrance, a history's thrall. Who am I? The thing in shadow really reminds me it might be wine. I'm going for wine. Wine? She gives you an intense stare. Time for a fight. She is strong, but you will have to defeat her handedly with the power of a hero. Fool, there is no fighting a gynosphinx in her lair. If she wants you gone, then you will find yourself 1,000 feet below the surface of Lake Kuja. Hold your breath. Olzis picks up a new barrel of wine. She pops the cork open. Wine? Yes, that is very correct, little one. Oh, what? Wonderful job. Another riddle solved. Huzzah! Since you're so amazing, would you be interested in a quest? Yes, yes, yes. She gives you a serious expression. Accepting a divine quest from a sphinx is no trifling matter, mortal. In fact, few would survive such an ordeal. This is the chance to prove yourself to an ancient creature of myth and legend. You also are incredibly manly doing it. A quest? Indeed. Behind me stands a vault. It opens only to those worthy. She leans her massive head downwards, close enough for you to smell her wine breath. To prove worthy, you must solve my most ancient of riddles. So old, it was handed down to me when I first stepped inside this chamber, millennia past. I'm pretty great at questing. I'm sure you are, little one. Your companion whispers to you, You're going on an epic sphinx quest right now? Sure, why not? Not like we're on a job or anything. This is important, Snell. Maybe to you. No, really, it's really important to the job, too. Convince me. You could grant me esoteric knowledge, or like the tea shop. Fair enough. Look, I won't stand in the way. You just don't waste too much time on it, okay? The Sphinx stares at you and your companion. A hero must face such adversity during this quest. She laughs quietly to herself and takes a swig of wine. So, what exactly is this Sphinx quest? This is a riddle, the answer of which is not uttered in words, but revealed by action. She goes quiet and closes her eyes. In actions, so I can just... She opens one eye and shushes you. Found within the arcane flare. Arcane, one of the 3 pillars of magic. Yeah, I know this. Twin tongues of flame that scorch the air. She takes a breath, revealing a wicked grin. Burrow deep within the earth, a primal string to show your worth. Then she leans in, almost whispering those final words. Folk and gods in thronging herds, a man divine, alone, howls his words. That is intensely vague and cryptic. That's very vague. I love riddles, but I'll have to think about this one. The answer is not something you can speak. She uses a massive claw to grab something from her pile of stuff and tosses it to you. Once you understand this riddle, return here. You can only solve it during daytime, alone. We wouldn't want anyone else accidentally figuring out this riddle, would we? She glances at your goblin companion. The goblin groans. Ugh, I'm not interrupting the job for that. Do it in the morning or something before you come pick me up. The Sphinx chuckles. I never sleep, so you can show up any time after sunrise, and before the tavern opens. Sounds like this could be to one hell of a treasure. Isn't it lonely to hang out around here for millennia? She takes in a deep breath. I must remember that my perspective on time is different than mortals. When one views events on a scale measured in eras, a chat like this is but a fleeting blink among a heaven of stars. Mortality makes life beautiful. I've heard that countless times, yet it always comes from those trapped in its clutches. I suppose perspective is everything. Hanging around a tavern can't be too lonely though, right? Times have indeed changed. During what you call the arcane era, I had a few visitors. These days I'm inclined to enjoy the life surrounding me, even with its occasional annoyances. While the average quality of my conversations might have declined, there is value in communicating with all manner of creatures. Knowledge comes in all shapes. If the world is full of imbeciles, then knowing imbeciles will let you know the world. And if that is the case, then how many of those people truly can be called stupid? But I'm not an imbecile, right? She stares at you for a long while. Of course not, little one. She says that to everyone. So there's no, dude sphinx in your life then? Her expression changes subtly. You touch upon a sensitive subject. I have found that when this question is put to me, despite my vast age, despite my demeanor, despite everything, the inquirer is not referring to companionship. She taps a claw. You wish to speak of reproduction, little one. Cleric, you hear a harsh whisper. Are you sure about this? Are you uncomfortable talking about it? Not at all. I can rant about it all day. Is it an awkward subject? Yes. Most mortals find the discussion to lead to very uncomfortable territory. Yes, I would like to hear about Sphinx reproduction. Her intense glare grows more esoteric. There are many lower races of Sphinx, some more bestial than others. Apart from the often serving lesser purposes, they also share a common characteristic. She frowns. They are all male. How dreadful. Indeed. Each of these degenerate sphinxi then naturally crave the companionship of my kind. Gynosphinxes are the only female members of the Sphinx family. They control the means of reproduction in their species. For a gynosphinx to lower herself to their level, it is simply unthinkable. Then how? Any man would desire such beauty in his life. Agreed. Men are, after all, shallow idiots. The degenerate races of Sphinx were born wicked and craven. These creatures are no more similar to I than a horse to a donkey. No, not even this, as it implies some level of closeness, a horse god to a painting of a donkey. This misconception of our similarity will plague me for eternity, but considering them a legitimate partner, creating more? The Sphinx shakes her head. A true man is his mind. He is not violent by nature, nor is he afraid of action. He is decisive, yet tolerant. He is wise, yet still ready to learn. A true man is a riddle. Do they not have free will? They do, which makes it even worse. Like a beast, they simply cannot fight against their instincts. Instincts which are very evil, selfish and violent in nature. But unlike normal beasts, they do not get stuck with an alignment, since they are smart enough to know better. However, there is a more civilized Sphinx apart from my own kind, of course. The glow in her eyes intensifies. The Andro-Sphinx, a beautiful, powerful... beautiful, powerful servant of the gods. Few inhabit this coast of ours. Yet though those do, her voice trails off. Indescribably hot? She snaps her gaze back to you. They are like all men, insufferably prideful. Oh, I don't want to say that. I'm sensing a story here. There's always a story. Every bias is brought from perspectives, after all. She takes a sip from her barrel and leans on her head on a paw. Hear my tale. During the early days when the gates still stood open, one winter long ago I was tasked to guard a passage on the border of an empire you will never know. That empire's goddess sent an Androsphinx to guard the very same passage. His name was Tremblim. Our meeting was by chance and by fate. Sounds romantic. An optimistic viewpoint, but I'll admit that, at first, I shared those aspirations. Trem was a gallant specimen. He spoke with an air of grandeur and purpose. It was easy to spend hours in his company, days than months. Though we became increasingly physical in our relations, our conversation steadily became more stale. After years of sharing a lair, I sensed a bitter tone gnawing its way into every interaction between us. He would often berate my every action. He would go on month-long hunting trips and come back empty-handed. He would end very philosophical discussion or debate. even those we had with visitors with snarky comments. Tell me, with whom do you believe this venom originated? Which one of us would be at fault, so to say? Maybe you two just weren't compatible. An understatement. I pushed for him to tell me where this irritable act was coming from. After many long arguments, he relented. Guess what Trem confessed to be the cause of this toxic behavior. He was bored of the relationship? Not even that. She takes a big gulp of her wine barrel. He said I was arrogant, that I could never be wrong, and I was stubborn. Ah, well... Those words are tinged with bitterness and contempt. This Androsphinx has a deeper, more venomous meaning behind the statement. Stare at her. It took time for me to truly understand why he would say such things. Eventually I figured it out. Trem was intimidated by me. For the half-century we spent together, he never once could keep up in our debates. He never could solve my best riddles, nor even understand many of the most basic of philosophical topics I brought up. I never had a problem with this at all. It was enduring to watch him struggle. I never would have assumed such a magnificent man would succumb to the lowest of sins. Pride. Trem could not stand to be outmatched, at least not in the long run, so we parted ways, as amicably as could be given the circumstances. That was my first mission here on this Jaws realm. This Gynosphinx has struggled with her hatred for longer than you will ever live. Yet despite the difference in your natures, what she seeks here from you is simply validation. A separation is wise. Inevitable, even. The Sphinx sighs. You've made for a decent audience of this tale of mine, little one. Sharing experiences like this is one way I hope to grow, despite my age. Do you have any final comment to leave me with? Your bias is not wrong, but remember all folk, man and women alike, Sphinx or human, are both pitiful, spiteful, and wonderful in their own unique way. Your story is very interesting indeed. I will think about it. I will say that. Well spoken. Now, I tire of this conversation, little one. Will you leave me with my wine, or do you have more topics you wish to question me on? Are you voting for in the election? I'm not. What? Why? She shakes her head. I cannot leave to vote, I'm afraid. Even if it was my business to leave an imprint on the affairs of mortals. You can't leave here for even a minute or two? I could, but that would break my divine quest. Understandable, you cannot do that, ever. I would not have expected a mortal to understand. Interesting. If you could leave, who would you vote? Oh, I don't know. She points a claw at you. What would you have me vote for if I was in your shoes? The Azgals. They will make the city fair and equitable. Ah, yes. A bunch of failed revolutionaries will surely be the best choice to safeguard the future. Not wrong there. She gives you a knowing smile. She knows more than you'll ever learn. That may not be true if you have your way. Ooh, I could flirt with them. I do get proficiency now because I am a feminist. You're a very impressive creature, you know that? She taps her claws. Where are you going with this, little one? Yeah, this might be a bad idea. Your goblin companion kicks you in the shin. You want to get mazed? He hisses at you. That's how you get mazed. The goblin is referring to the concept of being magically transported into an endless prison, which is technically something a Gynosphinx could be capable of, just so you know. 31! There's no chance in hell. I would have to get only... I do have advantage, but I'd have to get a natural 20 to succeed. So, never mind. Never mind! Alright, little one. I'll assume you simply coughed very loudly. Alright. It's 22:50. I'm getting close to midnight. See if there's anyone else I can talk to. So I can't chat to the tiefling there. I'll chat to her. Ancient Vera. It would be something akin to 1,000 a month. Standard fare, really. Rickspider? Local taverner. Obviously, all of my propriety deals would have to be included in that. Obviously. Which would make it more akin to double that price, at least. The orc woman places her cup on the counter and leans forward. We hope you'll consider it. The fiendish woman behind the counter gives her a wide, sharp grin. Vera turns to leave. And almost walks right into you. Whoops! Cleric, lovely to see you again, but I can't stop to chit-chat. Do swing by Water Lane later, will you? Oh, she left. As the orc steps past and leaves the tavern behind, you look over to the woman behind the bar. She locks eyes with you while putting away the orc's cup. Approach! What do we got here? Behold! Demon. Money, money, money! This is what you get from the pragmatism of devilhood mixes with the dexterity of humanish fingers. A mint-making, crown-conscientious, capital creator of the highest class. Entrepreneurship is about disruption. It's about seeing through the common clay and figuring out the hacks of reality. It's like magic, really, except it works on scale. This is going to be a lovely conversation. Behind the counter stands a woman of fiendish origin. Focused on filling up one of the taps, she immediately stops when she notices you approach. A tiefling. Tiefling, a folk with demonic or devilish blood in their veins, often have features such as horns, tails, red or blue skin, and various esoteric abilities. Welcome to the drunk sphinx. Oh my good lord, a cleric! How lovely to see the city stop by. In my Draw Steel campaign, all devils have southern accents, so that's where this is coming from. She gives you She gives you her full attention. Name's Rickspitter. I'll be serving you tonight. This woman is a perfect hub of information. Pick her brain. Point at the horns. How did that happen? Oh, she mouths and gives her left horn a faint pat. Funny story, actually. My family fled from the megastorm of He-She. I think it was in the last few years of the Coast War. They were invited to join a Fulgurni guild, due to my father's influence as a former diplomat. That's where I was born, so technically I'm a native of Gurney. But to answer your question, both of my parents were members of the Houses of Fire. Low ranking, of course, but still influential in the politics of several smaller coastal towns in the western jungles. And I don't know if you know much about the folk in He-She, but let's just say horns are quite a common sight among the highborn. She talks too much. Thanks for the information. No problem. I'm quite proud of the journey I've made, with or without my bloodline backing me. I want to pick your brain. That can be arranged, she says and gives you a big smile. I'll pick it real good. Neat. She keeps up that smile. I am the Cleric of Norvik. The Cleric? Oh my. Aren't you a catch? I think the southern accent's pretty apt for this character. You're the tavern owner. Do you have a bunch of information that could help me in my quest? Quests, plural? Sure. If there's anything I could do for you, just ask. I know more than most people in this sprawling city of ours. The city is not hers. We all share this place. It is as much hers as it is yours. Oh, Snell! She exclaims and notices him over the counter. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Want something to drink? I'm on the clock. He nods towards you. Oh, you're the escort then, eh? That's not how I'd phrase it, but sure. She laughs and sticks a sharp finger in your face. Don't get Snell into too much trouble, you hear? He's already grumpy enough as it is. The two of them clearly share a past in an enemies to lovers kind of way, only without the lovers part. What's up with the, Oh, that's Olz's. Great gal. She's a Ghana Sphinx. She's been here since, like, early Gate era. But good luck getting more than out of her. I heard her riddle. I think we all did. But good luck. Not often she gives out personal puzzle like that. Means one thing. Always wants to put you to the test, so to speak. How many people have solved her riddles? 2. She smirks. I know of at least. One was a bit more discreet than the other. However, I promised to keep it a secret, so tell me! Yes! Fine, I'll say, but promise not to tell anyone. The first one was sort of a myth these days, but it was your god, good cleric. Earth. Earth solved the Sphinx's trial? Yup. I wasn't here to witness it, of course, but that's what Olzis told me. And if you can't trust the ancient Megano Sphinx, then who can you trust? And the second? A year ago, I caught a certain fellow entrepreneur having a chit-chat with Olzis, and I ended up getting a glimpse of their convo. It was Fiskin, you know, the local mortician. Oh. Olzis won't talk about it, but he totally solved one of her riddles and got something in return. Right. That's interesting. So maybe that will help for me to solve what his stuff is all about. No idea what, but hey, you didn't hear that from me, she says and winks. She always drink this much? Yeah, that's the only reason this place stays open. She lets us all hang around her sacred chamber, and in return I get her pumped on some river wine. Cost-wise, it's not that much worse than a regular city rent. Thanks for telling me about the Sphinx. No problem. I'm searching for a paladin. She shakes her head. Don't expect to find much. I haven't seen Lord Gorm for weeks. You know him? I've handed him a few drinks a few times, exchanged a few words, so sure I know him. What does he look like? Big guy, Earthguard-like outfit, but with more gold. Not the type you'd see in like to arm wrestle. Other than that, green eyes, blonde, long hair. Did he wear a helmet? Oh no, never actually. He always showed off those golden locks. A clear sign of corruption. What sort of man would choose to show his skin instead of iron? Guess that his proclivity for vanity very much surpassed your own, cleric, she says with a playful smile. You ever hear him say anything suspicious? She laughs. Look, drunkards say all kinds of shit. Can't read too much into it. What did you hear? Mostly a bunch of ranting about how every single political entity in the city should be burned to the ground. Some typical pro-human slogans. You know the stuff. That sounds like objective truth to me. So Lord Gorm is a fascist. Got it. She laughs. Might be simplifying the issue a bit, but sure. You know where I could find him? I hear all kinds of rumors, cleric. Either he's cracked under the pressure and started living as a fisherman, or beggar on Water Lane. Or he's down in the tunnels below fighting undead abominations. Or he's jumped on a ship to Muletown. Maybe Lord Gorm wants to head out to the infinite wastes through Toll's Pass. Either way, I don't think you're going to find him, cleric. But maybe there's some clues as to his fate somewhere here on Tolstad. Who knows? Well, there's nothing else. Thanks for your information. So, didn't find out more about the Paladin. That sucks. You read the Azgal chant? Nah, not my scene. But since the tea shop went poof, I've got a lot more patrons bringing it in here. I wonder why. Very strange. She sighs and rolls her eyes. Duh, Azgals loved that tea shop. Oh! So that's important information. So the Azgals liked the tea shop. Now they're slowly trickling in here. Is the Azgal chant a big paper? Oh gods, no. It's just a very popular copper paper. What is that? A newspaper printed on magical copper sheets. The quality of the final newspaper suffers when using this method of production, but its popularity has skyrocketed, with indie papers around the coast using it. Still pretty expensive to use, but nowhere near as costly as using proper Arcana pressing machines. And where is it printed? No clue. Here it's somewhere in Tolstad, though. In some dark corner, probably by a group of angry dwarves, I imagine. Who writes the articles now? A group of angry dwarves? Look, there's the reason why nobody knows anything about this damn thing. It's illegal. Whoever's printing it doesn't have a license, so the city just keeps trying to bust them. It's sort of funny when you think about it. What do people think about it? What do people think about it? That is ridiculous. You've got the third largest political paper in the city, and it's printed in the shadows. Nobody knows who the chanter is, and every article is signed off as some written by some concerned citizen. It's very dramatic, but other than that, people either hate it or love it, depending entirely on their own politics. Is this paper political? Oh no, not at all. Not at all? Indeed, it's in fact the only newspaper in existence that's ever managed to be completely apolitical in every way, shape, and form. That's glorious. Okay, I'm joking, obviously. The Azgal chant is clearly a highly politicized paper. It's literally filled to the brim with Azgal propaganda. That's all I wanted to know. You two friends, Snell? No. Don't say that, you're hurting my feelings. There's tension here. You should mention it. Some sexual tension between you two? That's... Quickly taps you with an angry glare. That's a statement. I will strongly refute, Cleric. The fiendish woman nods. Of course, refuted it is. It is. For sure, absolutely. She laughs and leans over the counter. All jokes aside, this is all just a part of the job, you know. Creating sexual tension? A bit on the nose, but sure. Being a little fiend? Flirting? Well, sure. Being sarcastic? Always. Answering all my questions? Every single one. I see. It just happens to be as such that Snail here is a very hard nut to crack. The hardest. The goblin closes his eyes and mutters something to himself. A series of expletives. You do not feel any nervousness speaking to this woman. Well, duh, she's not your type. That's pretty obvious. Does Snell spend a lot of time in here? You don't need to ask her, it's not relevant. He does, she says, ignoring his comment. Although this is the most convenient third place for the HWBT, so it's not like he's got too many options. We've all got the wonderful goblin we could need here, every night. Great, I've got some other questions. What do you know about the tea shop? It blew up! She looks shocked. People keep saying that. Right? Very strange. She gives you a quick shrug. Wasn't here. Not usually on Tolstad over noontime. I'm more of a night gal, obviously, so I'm not really much help, sadly. I just heard the regular. But I can recommend talking to the kid at the kiosk upstairs. His brother comes in here often, and I overheard him talking about it. Yes, I spoke with Arn. Great. I hope you didn't scare him too much. Kidding. Do you know of a man named Frank, son of Frank? Your question causes her to let out a hearty laugh. I'm so happy I'm not the only one having to ask that stupid fucking question. No, I'm afraid I haven't. So she eventually manages to tell you. Sorry, Cleric. She cannot help you. Hear anything about masked assassins running over Tolstad? No? Sounds like a cult. Could it really be a cult? Wouldn't be the first. Nor the last, probably. We had that death cult a couple years ago that ran amok. What was it called? Blorg something? She remembers the Bolgion blood cult, remnants of a minor but powerful god that grew during the Coast War. And then they had an offshoot in Norvik when you were little. You heard about them as a lot as Earthguard fought day and night to eliminate them under the city. Bulgorn. That was they were horrifying. They were. Then there's elemental cultists popping up now and then, but most of them are pretty tame, or at least they stay deep enough underground to not bother citizens so much. He laughs. And then who do you think keeps them there? Oh, I know it's you. You give them one angry stare like that, and they're running back to their burrows, eh? The goblin mutters something under his breath. They're trying to kill me. Oh no, that's no good. But I'm sure you'll be fine. The city is strong and eternal, right? Damn straight. Hell yeah. Tell me everything you know about these cult assassins. Of course, so... She leans forward over the counter and stares at you. Your companion looks at her, then back to you. The fiend keeps staring. Hello? She gives you a serious expression and nods. She's making a joke. So you don't know anything then? She claps her hands together. Okay, Cleric, that's all I know. Thanks for asking, though. Great, something else. Who are you voting for in the election? That's a cheeky question. Don't worry, I will not repress your political opinions. Promise? Press a hand to against your cheek and scream, I swear, Lady Rickspitter! She's taken aback by your exclamation. Don't just start screaming like that, for fuck's sake. You've made this woman very happy. Early on, I thought about voting for the agricultural party. They had a big focus on small business owners. That's me. But obviously they moved over to the bigger working class focus, and are now completely swallowed by the Azgalism. So now I'm leaning towards the Free Striders. They want to build up the economy and increase trade, which will directly affect my life, so it will be much easier. Plus, it's hard to ever vote for the nationalists when they want my kind to be a second-class citizen. And the Free Striders will let you buy your way into the first class, or what? She gives him a half smirk. Something like that. You like the agricultural party? Liked. They had a neat manifesto, okay? Freedom of movement and business type shit. Why not vote green? She holds up a hand and gives you an incredulous look. I like to keep my profits, duh. Your companion scoffs. Why would more trade make your life easier? She looks around. Tolstar is already a hotbed for travelers coming in from all over the coast. If the tariffs are lowered, especially between Reedsian cities, we'll be seeing twice as much traffic on Water Lane. That means twice as many patrons. I might even have to expand. Fuck fascism. She enthusiastically meets your hand in a satisfying smack. Hell yeah! Foolish performative act. That's all the politics for now. Ooh, we're getting close. We're getting close. So close! Tell me about yourself. Please do dive on in, Cleric. Anything in particular you'd like me to rant about? So, are you a devil or a demon fiend? Neither, you know. I suppose the city classifies me as a fiendish guest citizen, or whatever the legal definition is. That means she can vote, but she can't hold office. But my blood origin is demon, like all of the Houses of Fire. She does not like talking about this too much, which is why she stops herself from ranting any more than she already has. She winks and says, I try not to flaunt it too much. Tends to get the boys a bit too excited, you know? I don't know. Fair. What was your mother's maiden name? She squints. Am I allowed to say that? Isn't that a curse thing? Like knowing the true name of a devil or something? So you are a devil? No? Or I mean, you're not one of those folk that keep confusing devils and demons, are you? Devils are lawful evil. Demons are chaotic evil. They're both creatures of evil, flawed to the core. Stare at it for a bit and say, ooh. No, I'm an expert in my field. In demonology? Yes, it's all real. Alright, well, let's just move on. I can keep that a secret, just in case, okay? She winks at you. How do I get to the Undercoast? I don't know. She points downwards. Head down till gravity flips? Never been myself. Tell me about your business. I'm getting close! Technically 17 minutes away. My favorite topic. I've got several businesses, in fact. Some people call me a bit of a serial entrepreneur. So it's just a tavern, not an inn? Not an inn, Stanley. I've been thinking of expanding, but as you might imagine, it's quite difficult, especially with all the wonderful complexities created by our dear Home Lord. What is a Home Lord? Oh, the Magistrate. Yeah, that's currently held by Tondridel Sonderfelt in the housing district. Though usual a local cat holds dance classes here once a week, that's paused during the election though. Anyhow, I'm rambling. Do you want the story about how I procured this location? Tell me about your story, but focus on the tavern. This tavern was born out of my meeting with Olziz. She nods her head in the direction of the massive sphinx at the end of the chamber. She's guarded this place for centuries, millennia? Gods only know how long. Even our good Lord Earth just let her be. Our Lord saw this divine being and allowed her to continue her sacred mission. But I managed to get her to open up a bit. A few drinks later, we got a contract signed. To convince a sphinx, a creature sent by the very high gods to alter her life's mission, this woman must be highly persuasive. Today, it's a highly successful establishment with patrons from all over the world. Things are a bit slow these days with the whole tea shop drama. But alas, things will pick up soon again, I'm sure. That is not how you use alas in a sentence. Oh yeah, she talks so damn much you barely even picked up on it. So how did you end up here? Long story. I'll keep it short as I'm sure you've got better things to do. Essentially, family from Haiti, was born in Vergurney, raised in Breeds during the worst of the revolution, left my family behind and came to you to start anew. Now I'm building businesses left and right. Ascan is a wonderful land full of promise. I love it here. She leans in and smirks. Thank you so much for taking an outcast like myself, Cleric. She's hitting on you. Hit back. What? I fled back? I do not answer for the visa and the immigration guild. I fled back? Yes! Nope, not your type. You need someone stronger. Boo! The red one is correct, but still boring. Oh. What is my... Do I compliment her horns? Eh, just say something. You've been staring at her silently for like 15 seconds now. You're welcome, citizen? I am. She shows her sharp teeth in a bright smirk. Alright, no more personal questions. Aw, too bad. I have asked everything of her. I cleared out the whole thing. What is this? An old well. Is there anyone else to talk to here? I think that was it. Oh no, there's someone here. Smarter Thangu. Ooh, that was high. A goblin, not so much. A crazed kleptomaniac of a goblin. He needs help, professional help. Be careful with him. This is not a typical example of a goblin. This is an extreme a stereotype, a fable. Oh man, look at their stats! What the hell is wrong with them? The goblin glances at you. His eyes lift up for a second, but then he notices Snell. Smarter. Snell? Don't cause any trouble. Okay. Snell motions for you both to leave that guy alone. One of your cousins? Something like that. At least, as the two of you take a step away, Snell sighs. Smarter is a notorious pickpocket. Don't let him get too close. So he's a goblin. Snell glares at you. No, look, I'm talking a real, actual pathological kleptomania case. Like a can't keep his hands away from pockets type deal. Except smarter, he fails every single time, hurting himself in the process. Oh. Yeah. I don't think he's ever gotten away with anything, so just be careful around him. I don't want him hurting himself again. Okay, let's not stick around then. I like how that character exists, you know? Like, you know, we just have to leave him alone. We can't really do anything with him. But he's there. He doesn't have a purpose. He's not really there to kind of to be a part of my story. He's just there to flesh out the world a little bit. I don't know. I found that to be... I think that's really cool, honestly. I think... Oh, hello. I think that's the goblin from before that, you know, was like, fuck off and everything. But I think that's one thing I think that a lot of games are losing, is that sometimes there should just be things in games that help build up the world, that help give that world a bit of identity and a bit of depth and richness. Not every single NPC has to give you a quest or anything like that. And I think stuff like that really is really needed. Raz, bow for hire. I think I've talked to this one before. Ooh, 19. He wants to kill you. This is a massive, unregulated, confident, and highly problematic goblin supremacist. He will not debate you on it. He doesn't even see you as worthy of being alive. A focused killer, his body count must be in the hundreds. The type of man who wishes for nothing but the destruction of humanity, Earthfolk especially, and the downfall of this invading species on the shores of Ascani. The more you stare into those deranged eyes of his, the more you understand he is not full of hatred from some idealistic vision of the future. He does not view the future of Ascani as a goblin paradise. All he wants, entirely due to some personal vendetta fueled by sociopathy, is to erase all humans from existence. Ooh. He's a level 8 rogue as well. That's pretty intense. The scent of smoke fills your lungs as you approach the hooded goblin. He takes in a drag from the pipe, his rough face illuminated. He's glaring at you. Didn't I see you at Pillar Crossing? The hooded goblin does not reply at first. Then he just looks to Snell with a foul frown. I see you're getting more cran by the day. Fuck you. Identify yourself, goblin. You hear him clear his throat slowly. Nah. I suggest bothering someone else, human. You know this guy, Snell? Sure, that's Raz. Ignore him. He's not interesting. The hooded goblin lets out a cloud of smoke. Listen to your pet, Cleric. What was that? Did you say something, Raz? Pure rage is building in your companion. He only scoffs at Snell's question. Let's go, Snell. Yeah, I didn't want anything else happening from that. Behold! A jukebox is disabled while Neely is playing. Cool. I wonder if I could... I've got 1 more minute left. I've got 1 more minute left. Give her a thumbs up. Yay! Rude. Don't disturb her while she's playing. I should let her play. Yes, it's midnight! Off I go. Finally. I had to talk to so many people. Alright, let's head up here. Now I know where I'm going. Now I know where I'm going. Alright, cool. Go up here. Up here. That lady's gone. Alright. Oh. She's gone. What door is it? Is it this one? Magister's back door looks cramped. Entrance to the old guard tower. So this is where I need to go. Snell! Snell! There we go. Magister Nicholas Darrow. There he is. Okay. Please take off your boots. That's cute. Well, I think that's the perfect place to end it for tonight. Because this is the moment we've been waiting for like 5, close to like... How long have I been playing this game? Let me have a quick look. Yeah, close to like 9 hours now. So this is going to be pretty important. I feel like that this is a great place to save, and we shall resume at a different date. Well, hopefully in a week's time. What can I say here? If you are watching this on YouTube, as with the VOD, I hope you've been enjoying these streams. I certainly have. I've been having such a great time with playing Esoteric. This is really... I remember when I saw this game on like the Disco Elysium subreddit like 3 years ago, I think. I can't really accurately remember, but it was a long time ago. And I remember thinking like, oh, look at this, it looks kind of silly. It's just, how is this going to work? Blah, 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 blah. And then, as I saw more concepts coming out of it and stuff, I was like, yeah, this could work. And I played the demo of it, and it just had such character, and it had such a strong identity. And it's, as I've said a few times, like, this is Disco Elysium and Dungeons and Dragons had a baby, right? But I think even saying that does reduce its charm and its identity as a game, and its story is really something quite different. Even the politics of Esoteric Ebb is quite different, because, you know, obviously, I think both the writers of Disco Elysium and I think Bodegard, the writer for this game, I'm assuming he is the writer. They have different politics because obviously the Disco Elysium gang were all like fans of Zizek and you know, were fans of like, you know, the historical written thing of communism. So a lot of the politics that came out of it were obviously from that background. And I think this time there's definitely a different lens that the writer is using to talk about politics in a certain way. And I think it is well written in a way where it doesn't feel like any of the four options are like, they all have their flaws. And I think Disco Elysium does something very similar, describing how you know, communism in Disco Elysium is described as this kind of very far-reaching, not far-reaching, like out of reach, sort of idealistic sort of utopia, but a lot of people see the forest for the trees sort of deal. And then their take on fascism is this idea that fascism is actually just a longing for the past and a sense of, you know, not being able to find love, and that being a challenge for someone. And then ultra-liberalism is basically like, what's the point? What's the point of all this? Which I found to be really relieving to read about. And then liberalism, well, moralism in their game was about kind of this. It was kind of like a fear of accelerating into the future too fast, that everything needed to be controlled, that we need to take tiny little steps into the future, otherwise we could just stumble and everything will end. It's kind of how moralism is written in Disco Elysium. And then to compare it to Esoteric Ebb, fascism is kind of like the nationalists are kind of just written in a very typical way of like, you know, oh, it's our city, we have to be proud of who we are, blah, 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 blah. I am interested in how the Azgalists are written, because obviously if you're pro-Azgalist in this, like, the wisdom side of things tells you stuff like, oh, you know, we're just trying to have an equal thing, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, people are like, oh, I don't want half of my profits to be taken away. It's like, that's often like, you know, the kind of, what's the word? The uneducated way of seeing like egalitarian movements of like, oh, they're going to take away all my profits. It's like, you'll still have your profits. It's just ensuring that everyone has the chance to kind of have that freedom, you know? Like, and there's also stuff like the free striders are like, oh, you know, they're going to lower the tariffs. And it does make me think about, you know, left progressive sort of politics and like their stance on tariffs. But also one thing we're thinking about is that we're trying to marry the concepts, we're trying to marry modern ideologies with like feudal sort of trade economies, because obviously, like, I don't want to delve into the minutia of like, you know, how capital works in Esoteric Ebb. I mean, I think it has managed to pull it off pretty well to kind of wed both the ideas of like capitalism, like with the free striders, and then communism with the Azgalists, or at least egalitarianism with the Azgalists. I think it's done a good job so far, and I think if you pry too much into it, like if you really try to make it match up, it might. I'm not sure if it will hold too well. But I don't know. maybe playing more of the game. That's why I want to pursue Azgalism, not because I'm just I'm really into that stuff, but I just want to see how this game kind of interprets that thing, like how they actually communicate the ideas of egalitarianism, communism, and stuff in this world, and what people are going to think of you by following that stuff. So yeah, sorry, that was a long rant. I apologize, but yeah, I just this game makes me think a lot about that sort of thing. So, and I think that's one reason why I love this game in particular. Is it, and these games like this, like Disco Elysium, is I don't know. I need to play those kind of games that make you think on these things, to have that art that allows your thoughts and whatever budding sort of opinions you have to like bounce off of things in art and then kind of reflect back onto you and then help you grow and shit. Yes. Sorry. Thank you for watching if you have watched this all the way through. You can follow me on YouTube at griffinmuffin. I have video essays on Pillars of Eternity, Disco Elysium, that I haven't managed to really do in a while. Maybe I'll do in the future. Catch me again, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. I'm also on Bluesky, griffinmuffin there. Not much else to say. So I would like to thank you again for watching. I humbly hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a good time and there's some hope in your life. Yeah. So have a good one.